interesting. When you find a 1998 quarter in high grade, bright, lustrous, and nearly flawless. Center strikes, where part of the design is missing. Those can range from $200 to $1,000 for dramatic examples. There's also a fascinating transitional error known among collectors.
Center
Some
strikes, where
1998
part of the
quarters were
design
struck
is
on
missing.
planchet
Those can
intended for other
range from $200 to $1,000
Imagine a quarter
for
struck
dramatic
on a nickel
examples.
planchet, or
There's
even
also
a
a
foreign coin
fascinating
blank.
transition.
These oddball errors can fetch thousands of dollars at all. Literally one-of-a-kind mistakes. Another special case to mention is the 9th silver-proof quarter. That year, the Mint struck special silver-proof sets for collectors. If you find one of these, it contains 90% silver and is worth not just its silver content, but also collectible premiums. In deep cameo condition, a 1998 silver-proof quarter can bring in $50 to $150 or more, depending on grade. Now, here's the collector's dream story. A man in Ohio bought a box of proof sets at a local estate sale for just $20. Inside was a pristine 1998 silver-proof quarter that graded PR 70 deep cameo, literally flawless. That one coin went on to sell for over $1,000. Imagine turning a $20 box into a four-figure payday, all because you knew what to look for. So what's the lesson here? Never underestimate a modern coin, even one as recent as the 1990s. The 1998 Washington quarter is living proof that value hides in condition, in errors, and in history. Millions of these are still out there in circulation, and many people toss them aside as just spare change. But the truth is, with a sharp eye and a little knowledge, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And let's not forget the historical importance. When you hold a 1998 quarter, you're holding the very last chapter of the Eagle reverse design. The next year,
cameo,
everything changed with the launch of the
that one coin went on to sell for over $1,000.
That makes 1998
Imagine turning a
not just
$20
date,
box
but a
into a
symbol of
four-figure
transition.
all because you knew what to
to a
look for.
classic
What's
design
the lesson
that
here?
lasted for
Never
over
underestimate
65
a modern
years.
coin.
The
Even
next
one
time
as
you get a
recent
quarter
as
in
the
your
1990s.
change, flip it
The
over and look
1998
at the date.
Washington quarter.
If it says 1998, take a closer look. Check the condition, and if you've got a scale or magnifier, check for errors. Who knows? That little piece of pocket change could be worth a small fortune. The 1993 Washington quarter, like an extraordinary control, was far from perfect. That makes this year particularly interesting for collectors searching for gems and mistakes. Let's start with the basics. Quarters in 1993 were struck at three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint
value
mark,
hides
while
in
the Denver
condition,
coins show
in
a
errors,
D.
and in
And the
history.
San Francisco
Millions
mint
of
struck
these are
both
still out there in
clad-proof
circulation,
quarters and
and many people
silver-proof
toss
quarters
them
for
aside.
collector sets. In circulation, the Philadelphia and Denver coins are most common. The truth is, most 1993 quarters you'll find in change today are worn down and worth only face value. But when you step into the higher grades, the value story changes dramatically. A 1993 P quarter in mint state 67
as just
condition
spare
has
change.
sold for over
But the truth is,
$1,000
with a
at
sharp
auction.
eye and a
A
little
Denver
knowledge,
1993
you could be holding a
D
coin
quarter
worth
in the
hundreds
same
or
lofty
even
grade can
thousands
also
of dollars.
command several
And let's
hundred
not forget
dollars.
the historical
The reason?
importance.
Population
When you hold a 19
rarity. Out of the millions minted, very few survive in top-notch condition, free from scratches, nicks, and bag marks. Proof coins, on the other hand, were never meant for circulation. The San Francisco mint struck them with polished dies and mirror-like surfaces. A standard clad-proof quarter from 1993 is worth a few dollars, but the silver-proof 90% silver carries much higher value. In pristine PR 70 deep cameo grade, a 1993 silver proof quarter can bring anywhere from $150 to $400. Now, let's talk errors. Because 1993 quarters beating once. Collectors are always hunting for double die obverse, where the date or lettering shows clear doubling. Anywhere from $100 to $500 doubling. Off-center strikes are another favorite. A coin that's misaligned by 20% or more can be worth $200 to $800. Then there are broad strikes, where the design spreads out abnormally because the collar die wasn't in place during striking. Those unusual shapes can sell for a few $100s easily. One particularly rare type of error is a 1993 quarter struck on the wrong planchet. There are documented examples where a quarter was accidentally struck on a dime planchet, meaning the design didn't fully fit on the smaller blank. These errors can bring thousands of dollars at auction because they're so visually striking and unique. Collectors also look for full luster and sharp details, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Coins with strong strikes stand out from the crowd, and grading services reward them with higher designations. That can be the difference between a coin worth $50 and one worth $500. The 1993 Washington quarter is a reminder that not all valuable coins are old. Even modern coins from the 1990s can command serious premiums if they're in exceptional condition or display unique errors. For collectors, it's a hunt, searching rolls, boxes, or even proof sets for that one shining example that stands out from the rest. In the end, a 1993 quarter might be just another piece of pocket change to most people. But to a collector, it's a symbol of rarity hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. The 1994 Washington quarter is one of those modern circulation coins that many people still overlook. But for collectors, it has proven to be a fascinating year with some surprises in both high-grade values and error varieties. At first glance, it looks like just another common quarter, but beneath the surface lies the potential for hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. Let's begin with the mints. The 1994 quarters were struck at Philadelphia. In terms of mintages, the numbers are high. Philadelphia struck over 825 million quarters, and Denver produced more than 880 million. With totals like that, you'd expect these coins to be nearly worthless beyond face value. And for most worn examples, that's true. But collectors know the real story is in the condition. A regular 1994 P quarter in circulated condition is just 25 cents. But in mint state grades, the value rises sharply. Coins graded MS66 can sell for $50 to $80, and at the elusive MS67 grade, prices can leap into the $500 to $1,000 range. For the 1994 D, the pattern is similar. MS67 examples have fetched well over $1,200 at auction. The reason? Among hundreds of millions of coins, very few survive in that top condition, are where the value jumps. They hold intrinsic silver value plus numismatic premiums. In PR70 Deep Cameo grade, a 1994 silver proof quarter can command $200 to $400. But what really makes the 1994 quarter exciting are the errors and varieties. Double die errors are known for this year, where the doubling can be seen on the motto, "In God We Trust," or on Washington's profile. Strong examples can bring $100 to $500 depending on visibility. Off-center strikes are also known, and a dramatic 50% off-center error can be worth upward $0. Another error that turns heads is when a 1994 quarter is struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a quarter design struck on a nickel or dime blank. The result is a smaller, misshapen coin with incomplete details. These errors are highly collectible and can sell for thousands of dollars at major auctions. Collectors also watch for strike quality. The sharpness of the eagle's wings on the reverse or the fine details of Washington's hair can make the difference between a coin worth pocket change and one worth hundreds. Those with strong luster and full strike stand out immediately to graders and collectors. While the 1994 quarter might not sound old or rare at first, proof that modern coins hold treasures of their own. Whether it's a flawless mint state survivor, a mirror-like silver proof, or a bizarre error coin that slipped past the mint's core, Washington quarter remains an exciting coin to collect. For the everyday person, it might just be 25 cents. But for the sharp-eyed collector, it could mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A big transition. Let's start with production. Quarters in 1995 were struck at 3 mints, San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced more than 1.1 billion coins. The Denver Mint struck close to 1.13 billion, and San Francisco produced for collectors. These enormous 1995 quarter insert full in these grades out of millions submitted. Scarcity at the top drives demand and value. Proof coins add another layer of excitement. The San Francisco leased clad proofs, worth around $10 to $20 in PR69 deep cameo, and silver proofs, which are far scarcer and hold both silver melt value and collector premium. In PR70 deep cameo, a flawless silver proof from 1995 can sell for $200 to $500, depending on market demand. But where the 1995 quarter gets truly exciting is with its error coins. Some 1995 quarters show strong double-die obverse, where the motto, "In God We Trust," or the date itself appears doubled under magnification. Depending on the clarity, these can bring 150. Many people overlooked saving these, focusing instead on the special designs coming just a few years later. As a result, finding pristine examples from 1995 has become more challenging than one might expect, especially in the highest mint state levels. In the end, the 1995 Washington quarter proves that even a modern coin can carry serious value under the right circumstances. Whether it's a flawless gem mint survivor, a silver proof with mirror-like surfaces, or a dramatic mint error that tells the story of a mistake at the mint itself, this coin reminds us that history and value are often hiding in plain sight. To the untrained eye, it may just be a quarter. But to collectors, the 1995 Washington quarter is one more piece of the puzzle that makes modern numismatics so exciting. A chance to find rarity where most people only see change. The 1996 Washington quarter marks an important point in U.S. coinage history. On the surface, it may look like just another modern circulation coin. But for collectors, this year offers both high mintages and hidden treasures. It was also part of the final stretch of the classic Eagle-on reverse design, which would end just 3 years later with the launch of the State Quarters program. First, let's look at the mint production. In 1996, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 925 million quarters. The Denver Mint struck more than 906 million, and the San Francisco Mint created both clad and silver proof coins for collectors. Combined, that's over 1.8 billion quarters, a massive number. With such a high mintage, most circulated 1996 quarters today are still worth just face value. But the story changes dramatically when you start considering pristine condition and special varieties. For the Philadelphia issue, the 1996 P quarter in circulated grades has no extra value. But once you move into mint state, the difference is huge. In MS66, these coins often sell for $40 to $80. At MS67, values leap into the $400 to $600 range. The true prize is MS68, extremely rare for this date, and examples have sold at auction for over $2,000. The Denver issue shows a similar pattern, with MS67 coins bringing $500 to $900 and MS68 pieces selling for $2,000 or more. Proof coins, of course, are another highlight. The San Francisco Mint produced both clad proofs and 90% silver proofs. Clad proofs in PR69 Deep Cameo are typically worth $10 to $20, while silver proofs in flawless PR70 Deep Cameo have sold for $200 to $400. With their deep mirrors and sharp strikes, these silver proofs remain highly collectible. Now, what really excites struck coins that show strong luster? Add in the fact that most 1996 coins were heavily circulated, and high-grade survivors are surprisingly difficult to find. One interesting aspect about 1996 is that it was one of the years where the mint's production quality was inconsistent. Some coins show exceptional detail and clean surfaces, while others are riddled with bag marks or flat strikes. This inconsistency makes registry quality desirable, while the 1996 quarter may not jump out of your pocket change as a rare collectible. The truth is that it can be extremely valuable under the right circumstances. Whether it's a pristine MS68 example worth thousands, a stunning silver proof, or a dramatic mint, this year proves that modern coins can carry serious numismatic interest. Collectors who ignore coins like the 1996 quarter may miss out on incredible finds. For those who take the time to examine details, grade quality, and search for varieties, the rewards can be remarkable. To most people, it's just a 25-cent piece. But to the sharp-eyed collector, the 1996 Washington quarter is a treasure waiting to be uncovered, a reminder that even in the modern era, history and value can sit right in the palm of your hand. The 2015 Washington quarter is an exciting modern issue, not just because of its role in everyday circulation, but because of its place in the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. Unlike the classic eagle reverse of earlier decades, the 2015 quarters celebrated national parks and historic sites, making them a favorite among collectors. In 2015, the U.S. Mint released 5 different quarter designs, each honoring a specific location: Homestead National Monument in Nebraska, Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana, Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge in Delaware, and Saratoga National. Each design brought its own artistry, challenges in minting, and unique collector demand. Mintages varied, but like most modern quarters, production numbers were in the hundreds of millions. The Philadelphia Mint struck coins marked with a P, the Denver Mint issued those with a D, and the San Francisco Mint released both clad proofs and 90% silvers with the S mint mark. Additionally, the West Point Mint did not yet issue quarters into circulation at this point. That wouldn't come until 2019, so 2015 does not include any W Mint mark coins. For Philadelphia and Denver circulation strikes, most 2015 quarters in worn condition are worth just face value. However, uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can bring strong premiums. In fact, registry quality coins graded MS68 have reached values of $500 to $1,000, depending on the design and demand. These high-grade pieces are surprisingly tough to find because most 2015 quarters entered circulation immediately and accumulated scratches and bag marks. Proof issues from San Francisco are another highlight. Clad proofs in PR69 Deep Cameo typically sell for around $10 to $20, while silver proofs, struck .900 fine silver, carry both intrinsic silver value and collector demand. In PR70 Deep Cameo, flawless silver proofs from 2015 often sell for $100 to $200, depending on the specific park design. Collectors especially enjoy these silver issues because they showcase the detailed artistry of each reverse design and mirror-like fields. Error coins from 2015 are where things really get interesting. Some known varieties include off-center strikes, missing clad layers, where the copper core is exposed, and die cracks that create unusual raised lines across the design. Missing clad layer errors can sell for several $100s, while major off-center examples can bring $500 or more. Another key area of value is strike quality. The detailed designs of the 2015 quarters, like the intricate leaves of the Bombay Hook wetlands or the tiny cabins of the Homestead Monument. Fully struck examples with crisp, bold details are highly prized. Collectors also consider 2015 significant because it fell in the middle of the America the Beautiful series. By this pieces of American history, they celebrate landscapes, wildlife, and heritage sites, blending numerically in a way the classic eagle design never did. So, whether you hold a worn 2015 quarter from your change, a brilliant silver proof, or a dramatic mint error, you're holding more than just 25 cents. You're holding a piece of a story, one that connects America's history, natural beauty, and the artistry of coinage in the 21st century. And that is the hidden value of the 2015 Washington quarter, common to most, but potentially rare and highly collectible for those who know what to look for. The 1999 Delaware quarter is not just any coin. It's the very beginning of one of the most ambitious and successful coin programs in U.S. Mint history, the 50-state quarter series. This program, which ran from 1999 through 2008, transformed the way Americans thought about pocket change, turning ordinary quarters into collectible pieces of history. The Delaware quarter, released in January of 1999, was the very first issue. Its reverse design depicts Caesar Rodney on horseback, commemorating his historic 1776 ride to cast the deciding vote for independence. The image is powerful and symbolic, and it set the tone for the entire state quarters program. Each coin would celebrate a state's unique history and identity. Mintage numbers were huge. The Philadelphia Mint struck about 373 million coins with the P mint mark, while the Denver Mint produced around 401 million with the D. Combined, that's nearly 775 million coins, an enormous number by any measure. In fact, because of such high production, most 1999 Delaware quarters today are only worth face value if they've been in circulation. But as collectors know, the real value lies in condition, special strikes, and varieties. High-grade uncirculated examples are surprisingly scarce. An average mint state coin might be worth just $1 to $2, but in MS-67, the price climbs sharply, often between $150 and in the ultra-rare grade of MS-68. Delaware quarters have sold for over 4,000, proving that even modern coins can reach incredible values in the right grade. Proofs add another layer of collectability. The San Francisco Mint issued both clad and silver-proof Delaware quarters. Clad proofs are common and usually sell for $5 to $10 in PR69 deep cameo. But silver proofs, struck in 90% silver, are far more desirable. Perfect PR70 deep cameo silver proofs can bring $75 to $150, especially in early issues since 1999 marked the very start of the program. Now let's talk errors, and Delaware has some of the most fascinating. One of the most famous is the spitting horse variety. This occurs when a die crack runs from Caesar Rodney's mouth, making it look as though the horse is spitting. Depending on condition, these error coins can sell from $50 to several $100s. Collectors hunt for this variety constantly, and it's one of the most well-known errors of the State Quarters series. Other errors include off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and broad strikes. Coins with dramatic off-centers or wrong planchet errors, like a Delaware quarter struck on a nickel blank, can fetch thousands of dollars. The Delaware quarter is also historically important. It sparked a massive wave of coin collecting in America. People who had never paid attention to change before started saving quarters, building state collections, and even getting their kids involved. It revitalized the U.S. Mint's popularity and remains one of the most successful. From a numismatic perspective, the Delaware quarter represents a turning point. It's not just about metal value or mintage, it's about culture, history, and the joy of collecting. That's why collectors continue to treasure high-grade and error examples decades after its release. While to most people, the 1999 Delaware quarter is just another coin in their pocket, to numismatists, it's a milestone. The very first piece of a legendary series, a symbol of independence, and in the right condition, a coin worth thousands of dollars. And that is what makes the 1999 Delaware quarter so special. A simple piece of change that changed coin collecting forever. The 2019 Washington quarter is one of the most talked about modern issues in U.S. coin collecting history. At first glance, it might seem like just another piece of pocket change, but in reality, it marks a groundbreaking moment. The introduction of the West Point Mint W quarters into circulation. For decades, collectors had asked the U.S. Mint to create something truly special for circulation coins, and in 2019, the Mint answered. That year, a small number of quarters were struck at the West Point Mint, about 2 million of each design, and released directly into circulation across the country. For comparison, the Philadelphia and Denver Mints struck hundreds of millions of quarters, so the W Mint coins are only a fraction. The 2019 quarters came in 5 different designs, part of the ongoing America the Beautiful Quarters program. Lowell National Historical Park, Massachusetts; American Memorial Park, Northern Mariana Islands; Warren Park, Guam; San Antonio Missions, Texas; Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, Idaho. Each design was issued with a P mint mark from Philadelphia, a D from Denver, and a W from West Point. The San Francisco Mint also struck clad and silver proofs. But it's the West Point quarters that became the sensation. Why? Because before 2019, the West Point Mint's coins rarely entered circulation. Known as the Fort Knox of nickels, dimes, and quarters, West Point mostly produced bullion and special collector coins. By placing W Mint quarters directly into circulation, the Mint created a modern-day treasure hunt. Suddenly, everyday people were checking their change like it was the gold rush. In circulated condition, a 2019 W quarter is instantly worth more than face value, usually $10 to $20. But in mint state condition, prices rise sharply. Coins graded MS-65 often sell for $50 to $75, while MS-67 examples can reach several $100s. The finest known pieces, graded MS-68, have fetched over $1,500 at auction. Proof issues also shine. The San Francisco silver proofs from 2019 are popular with collectors, valued not only for their beauty but also for their silver content. In PR70 deep cameo, they can bring $100 or more. Error coins add another dimension of excitement. Missing clad layers, double dies, and missed strikes are known on 2019 quarters, though rare. A dramatic mint error on a 2019 W can be worth thousands, since it combines rarity of both mint mark and striking flaw. From a historical perspective, the 2019 quarters symbolize the Mint's effort to reconnect with the public. By around the W Mint issues, they revive the thrill of coin collecting, much like the State Quarters program did in 1999. In fact, many collectors credit 2019 as the year a whole new generation discovered the fun of searching change. The average person a 2019 quarter might just buy a gumball. But to a collector, it represents a cultural event, a bold decision by the mint, and a chance to own something modern coinage.so. Whether you hold a 2019 P, D, or S issue, or you're lucky enough to find a W in your pocket change, you're holding a piece of history. And if you're holding one in pristine condition, you may just have a coin worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. That's why the 2019 Washington quarter is not just change, it's a modern treasure. And that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into these fascinating coins, from the late 1990s Washington quarters to the modern West Point treasures. Each of these coins tells a story about American history, about changes in minting technology, and about how even the most ordinary piece of change can hold extraordinary value. What makes coin collecting so incredible is that these treasures are still out there. They could be sitting in your pocket, resting in a jar on your dresser, or hiding in an old roll from the bank. Whether it's a rare error, a high-grade mint state example, or a special mint issue, the opportunity is real. And that's what keeps collectors searching.so. If you enjoyed learning about these coins, keep your eyes open and never underestimate the power of small change. One lucky find could be worth far more than you imagine. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through coin history and value. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into rare coins and hidden treasures. Until then, happy collecting, and may your next coin roll review. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where every coin tells a hidden story, and even the change in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Today we're talking about a coin that many people still overlook,